Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we've got a puzzle by Allegem to do today, and it's called Electrostatic Discharge, which I think the grid looks like a kind of explosion of a discharge of electrostatic force, I guess. Anyway, I love the title. I like the image in the grid, even though it's just a bit abstract, but this basically is about region sum lines and Nabner lines, which we've used occasionally. Allegem's appeared a few times on the channel, about 5 or 6, and always a very interesting puzzle. So I'm looking forward to having a go at that. Now, there is still some time left to enter the CTC Snake Egg Collection puzzle hunt on Patreon. We give you till the 20th, so get your entry in. It's by Glum Hippo, who's brilliant. And the puzzle collection is a real work of art. Do give it a try. That still has nearly a few days left to run. And of course, all of our apps have forever left to run. They are available on the links under the video as well, and feature line Sudoku amongst many others. So there will be puzzles similar to this in that. And of course there are other apps, of course there's our merchandise, of course there's Sven's SUDOKU PAD, but do give them a try. Something to do with the channel. It's always good fun to interact with us. Even the person who, a couple of days ago, who said that my brain was porridge today, mate. That's interaction, and I don't mind. Let's see if my brain is anything more solid than porridge today. I'm going to do the rules of the puzzle, of course. So normal Sudoku rules apply. That's 1 to 9 going in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Now, box borders divide blue region sum lines into segments with equal sums. So on this line, those 4 digits, they sum up to the same total as those 3 because of the border dividing that line up. Digits on a gold or yellow Nabner line do not repeat and are not consecutive with any other digits on the line. So this, for instance, could be 1, 4, 6, 8 in some order on this line, or 2, 5, 7, 9. You will find that those sets are a bit restricted as you try and solve the puzzle. I am going to press the button and say, let's get cracking. So, where on earth do we start with this? A 5-cell Nabner line would always be very handy, and there aren't any of those. A blue line that's divided by a lot can be quite handy. So there we have 3 cells in box 8 and 1 in box 9. The one in box 9 must be at least a 6, because those have to be at least 1, 2, 3. The only other similar line is this one, which must add up to at least 15 in box 1, but no more than 17 in box 4. So those are at least 15 and must include only digits from 6, 7, 8, 9. This one doesn't include 8 and 9 on it. Okay, that's worth thinking about. Right, the maximum total, because of that pair, the maximum total for this quintet of digits, which for some reason I can't highlight, is 15. And that means that 8 and 9 cannot be involved in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 is the highest digit you can get. Therefore, 8 and 9 are in this group of cells, and they can't both be on the yellow Nabner line. So either 8 or 9 is there, and the other one is on that group of cells. And whichever one that is, oh no, I was going to say is not in that pair. That's not necessarily true. Okay, well, I mean, it was a deduction. I'm not saying it solved the puzzle, but it was a deduction. But I think it's kind of indicative for me that we're going to have to use the interactions between these Nabners and equal sum lines. So, okay, this can't be a 6 now, because that would be 1, 2, 3. And then what digits could you put on this Nabner line? It actually sometimes helps to consider the available digits for a Nabner line in pairs. Because if you could I was just wondering, if you could say that 1 was on this line, then this NABNA line would have to have something from 2, 3, something from 4, 5, something from 6, 7, and something from 8, 9 to fulfill the rule. But what I was hoping to do was say 1 must be on this line, because if we put 2, 3, 4 on it, the NABNA line will fail. But unfortunately, the NABNA line won't necessarily fail. If you put 2, 3, 4 on that line, you can have 1, 5, 7, 9 on this one. Then you have a 6, 8 pair here, and the whole box is alive and enjoying life. So that could easily be 2, 3, 4. It can't be 1, 2, 3. We worked that out. Because if that was 1, 2, 3, you've only got 3 pairs to select from for this line, being 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9. Now, if this was 1, 2, 4, then this could be 3, 5, 7, 9. Again, that would be 6, 8. Let's just think about what the other possibilities are. If this was 8, this is either 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 5. If it's 1, 3, 4, this is 2, 5, 7, 9. Yet again, that pair is 6, 8. I think my luck's going to run out there in a moment. If this was 8 and that was 1, 2, 5, you'd have something from 3, 4 here. Oh, then that doesn't actually work, because there's only 3 pairs available for this line. 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8, 9. So that isn't 1, 2, 5. If that was 9, well, there are 3 combinations. We worked out 2, 3, 4 does work. What about 1, 2, 6? Yeah, that works fine. Then you can have only just. Then this could be 3, 5, 7, 9. And that would be a 4, 8 pair. And finally, just to complete the thought, if that was 1, 3, 5, well, this could be 2, 4, plus something from 6, 7, and something from 8, 9, and the others would go there. And this was a wasted length of time spent working that out. Sorry. You do have to try how these puzzles are going to work, though, to be fair. Oh, this 4-cell NABNA line. Oh no, I was thinking that is going to mean that we must use a digit from 1, 2 and a digit from 3. No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm wondering now, do we have to consider this whole run of boxes here? Because every cell has a line in of some sort. It feels kind of interesting, but not in a way that I really understand yet. Gosh. I mean, the 4-cell NABNA lines have to be significant. They have to be. They have to be the main area for us to focus on. Unless I was meant to do more up here in this 2x2. Wow, okay, I really don't know. So let's... Oh, this is a 5-cell line, but it's matched with a 4-cell line. That's not very exciting. That is the most useless looking line on the planet. Right, let's come back here. What? There were a number of possibilities. But they gave rise to... Did 8 always end up on this line? I don't think it did. I don't think it did at all. Sorry, I'm really at a bit of a loss as to where to get going here. Somewhere we can start this puzzle. Where is it? Those 4 add up to the sum of 2 cells here. These are at least 15. Now, if it was 15, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's impossible, because these would have to be selected from 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's only 2 pairs there, and there's 3 digits. So that is not a sum of 15. There's not a 6 there. These add up to 16 or 17 and include a definite 9. So there's a definite 9 in one of those cells and a definite 9 in one of those. Okay. Also, this line, can it be 16, which would have a 9, 7 here? Then this line would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9, 7 would be here by Sudoku at that point. And this would be 5, 8. Well, that's no good, because that would be 9 or 7, but 8 would be on the line. That doesn't work either. So this is a 17 pair. Wow, that was quite hard to figure out. This adds up to 17. I imagine there's only one. Oh, let's do the first thing. This is now a 9-8 pair, because 9 and 8 don't go on the line. Now, this can't be 7 and 6, and won't be anyway. Right, this involves 1, 2, 3, and either 4, 7, that would leave 5, 6 here, which is not allowed. So this is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. That's a 4, 7 pair. This can't be 8 on the line, and we get our first digit. And that took me a bit longer than it should have. Now, okay, but at least we've done something. 8 is also in these cells by Sudoku now. This line doesn't have any digits out of 8 and 9. So, unfortunately, it doesn't quite reduce it to 3 pairs. These are also from 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I'm going to pencil mark that to give me something to do. Oh, we can't have 9 and 8 being both on the line. So this one in the corner must be 9 or 8. And now this line, what's it going to add up to? An absolute minimum of 8, 3, 1, 2 is 14, which would be 6 and 8. Now, was that the maximum here? It was close to it. Okay, what is the maximum here? That's worth thinking about. So I might have to go through all my evolutions again. If this was 7 and that was 1, 2, 4, this could be 3, 5, 7, 9, and that would be 6, 8. So that's 14. If this was 8, we worked out this couldn't be 1, 2, 5. It would have to be 1, 3, 4. This would have to be 2, 5, 7, 9. Again, that would be 6, 8, which would force this line. Now, the problem came when that could be 9. And if this was 2, 3, 4, that would be 1, 5, 7, 9. Again, we'd have 6, 8. That's not the problem. 9 could lead to 1, 2, 6 here, which leads this to be 3, 5, 7, 9. Then this is 4, 8. But that's impossible, because 12 is not enough for this line. This is at least 8 plus 6 more. That's way impossible. The alternative that I hadn't considered yet is 9 and 1, 3, 5. So 1, 2, 6 was ruled out. This line is either, well, there's a lot of possibilities, but it always ends up with 8, 6 there so far. I don't think it does with 1, 3, 5. Then this has 2 and 4 on it, and 1 each of the higher pairs of digits. And that's really annoying in this case, because it could be 2, 4, 6, 8 and leave that to be 7, 9. So all I know about this pair of cells is they add up from somewhere from 14 to 16. Well, at least that's going to keep 6 off this line. Nearly keeps 5 off it, but this could theoretically be 5, 1, 2, 8. Oh, that's frustrating. Now, we've got this as well. The absolute maximum that can add up to, because it doesn't contain 8 and 9, is 13. What about this? This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, because that would be 5, 6, 7. So it must have a digit from 6 and 7 on it. Okay, 13 is the maximum. 1 is on this line. Now this Nabna has 1 digit from 2, 3, 1 from 4, 5, and 1 from 6, 7. And this adds up to at most 13. Doesn't have to have the 2 on it, but only because then it could be 1, 3, 4, 5. But that won't work because this would be 2, 6, 7. So it does in fact have to have the 2 on it. And that means this line has to have a 3 on. And then to avoid having a consecutive digit on the NABNA, this line has a 4 on. This line is now going to have to be, in fact, 3, 5, 7, once it didn't have 1 or 2. So this one is 1, 2, 4, 6, and adds up to exactly 13. And this is a 7, 6 pair. This is a very clever puzzle, I have to say that at this point. Extraordinarily interesting. Now that 7 is placed on the NABNA in box 4. That leaves a 3, 5 pair which have to come off there. 4, 7 takes a 4 out of there. This digit is 1 or 2. That's quite interesting because it means this can't be a 1, 2 pair. Now, what else have we got going on down here? Or anywhere? These C, 7, 3, 5, 9, 8 in the column and a 6, they're from 1, 2 and 4. Now, if that was a 4, then the minimum here would be, 15, no, not 15, because that would have to be 1, 3, but 16, which does work here. Bother. What about this NABNA? I mean, very difficult to determine. It has 9 or 8. It doesn't have 7 or 6. I suppose it's very unlikely to have 5 or 3 on. And that's very, I don't know. No, maybe what I'm thinking is that's unlikely to be 4. Anyway, I'm not dealing in likelihoods. I'm dealing in facts. Deducible facts today. I felt like we'd made some really good progress and now I've got completely stuck again. Oh, okay. We've done those 2 blue lines. We haven't done this one really, have we? Somewhere between 14 and 16 we worked out. Now, the flexible one was if that was 9 and this was 1, 3, 5. Then this is 2, 4, and a digit from 6, 7, and a digit from 8, 9, leaving this to be a digit from 6, 7. That one must go here, because all of the other possibilities were 6 and 8 specifically. And then this must be a digit from 8 or 9. And I'm favouring 8, but it could be 9. And I'm favouring 6 here, but it could be 7, only because of the preponderance of possibilities that go on this line. Now, what next? 7 or 6 there matches one of those. I don't know. I don't want these other lines. Apart from box 8, I've just got no knowledge of what's going on the other lines, and I'm very scared of them. I want to do more with box 8 and box 7 at the moment. I've sort of finished what I can do in box 1 and box 4. That's weird. Come on, what's going on in box 8? I think this is a solid deduction, these pairs. Did we work out that couldn't be 6, 2, 1, because this would be 3, 5, 7, 9, yes. Oh, this, oh no, I was going to say it can't have a digit from 9 and 8. Okay, what are the possibilities here? They are 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 5, or 2, 3, 4. Oh, they're always, of course. I mean, this is a general principle of where 3 Sudoku digits equal 1 Sudoku digit. Those 3 must have 2 of the lowest 3 numbers on. So all of those combinations I've mentioned will have 2 of the digits 1, 2, 3 on. This can then have the other of those, but then it must have a digit from 8, 9 pair, a digit from 6, 7 pair, and a digit from 5, 4 pair. Well, I mean, that's definitely true, but if only it would help. I don't see how it does help, and I don't know what I'm meant to do next, so I'm saying help. Help? What do I do? Okay, let's think about whether 5 can be here. 8, 5, 2, 1 on this line. If 5 was in these cells, the maximum here is 16. This would have to be 5, 1, 2, 8, which is the other minima. But that would leave this as 3, 4, 9, which is not allowed because 3 and 4 are neighbours, consecutive, I mean. So 5 can't be there. Well, that's quite interesting. This is now a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad. And this is a 5, 8, 9 triple. And there's no 5 in those cells, and the 5 in box 1 is definitely there. That's also the only 5 in column 3 possibility. Right. Now, 5 is definitely on this Nabna line, and 4 isn't. So the only place for 4 in the box is there. Now this line cannot add up to 14 anymore. 8, 4, 2 and 1 are the minimum, and that's 15. So this is not the 6, 8 version. It is the only possibility that allowed that not to be 6, 8, and that involved 1, 3, 5 there and a 9 here. That puts 8 in the corner, which makes this line 5, 9 and either 1 or 2. This line now adds up to 12 plus, well, 2 and 4 are on this line. 4 must be in one of those cells, 2 somewhere. And then these use one of each of those digits. So a minimum 14 and a maximum 16. So this is not a 3-2 pair, because that would make this side of the line 17. So there is a 1 there, and that must be a 2. Now there isn't a 2 here, and we know exactly that the line adds up to 16, so that's a 9-7 pair. Oh, sorry, 7, 9. This line is now 2, 4, 6, 8. And those can't be 4, 8. That's the 4, 8 pair. It's just rigorous logic, isn't it? It's no genius step. It's just rigorously thinking exactly how the compiler wants you, the constructor. So 1, 3 pair there makes that a 2. It's a very clever puzzle, I say again. That can't be a 4, that can't be a 2. That's a weird 1, 6 pair. There's a 4 there. Don't know what to do with the rest of that, columns 1 and 2. But this row at the bottom, 8, 4, 2, 6, 9, everything in it is odd that I haven't placed. Oh, 9 is looking at that cell. That can't be 5. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to move on to these lines. Oh, right, we can't have 9 on this line. So now we've got one digit from 8, 7, one digit from 6, 5, one digit from 4, 3, and one digit from 2, 1 on the line. So this has one of each, well, 3 digits, but it's only allowed to select 1 from each consecutive pair. Trouble is, its minimum is still 1, 3, 5 equals 9, and its maximum 4, 6, 8, I suppose, equals 18, which isn't something I can really play with yet. This is complicated. I was just saying no step was genius, but it's not genius, but it's quite rigorous. It's quite attritional. But it's good progress. I'm enjoying the journey. I know that. But what next? What next? Can I keep 8 off this line? No. Now, maybe this Nabner. 927. I don't really see how to use it. I don't know any of the actual digits on it. If that was 7, this would have to be 1357. Oh, and that's impossible because it would break this cell. That's quite cute. If this was a 7, this line then couldn't have an 8 or a 6 on, and the rest of it would have to be 531. And if this line was 1357, what would you put there in the box? So that's not 7. So now the only place for 7 in the bottom row is there. That is a very weird way. Now 8 must be on this line because we need 1 from the 8-7 pair and 7's gone. Now this is using, just as this line is using 1 from each pair, this is using 1 from 1, 2, 1 from 3, 4, and 1 from 5, 6. Well, the 1 from 5, 6 must be there because 5 and 6 already appear in row 7. What does that mean? Don't know again. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4. One of them from each. Now, again, we're left with a total. Now the total for this line, the kind of n for this line, is somewhere between 9 and 12. Well, it has to be at least 10 because those are 4 different cells. Oh, that's quite interesting. I think that means this can't be 5. If that's 5, then 8 and 6 have to be on the Nabner, and 4. Oh, this could just be 2, 3, and a 5. Okay, I can't quite rule out 5 from there. There's something about the Nabner and the equal sum line interaction. Oh, I can't quite see what it is. That's frustrating. You probably can by now. Well, there is a 2 in one of these 3 digits. If it was on this line, I don't think that would work. 2 can't be on this line, I'm going to allege, because if 2 was on a Nabner line, that in a box where 9 and 7 have already gone, that line would have to be 2, 4, 6, 8. And that is an odd cell, so this line is not 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2 can't be on the line, therefore 2 in the box is in one of those cells. Right, now 1 must be on this line, because 1 from 1 and 2 is, one of the digits from 1 and 2 is on the line. So the line contains 1 and 8. This line contains 2, but it could still have a 3 in one of these cells. This pair is either 2, 3 or 2, 4. The other from 3, 4 is here, and the other from 5, 6. Now, the line adds up to somewhere between 10 and 12. So this line has a 1 and 2 on it, because any combination between 10 and 12 must have that. The 2's in one of those cells. The 1 is somewhere on the line. There is a form of X-wing, a virtual X-wing. There must be a 1 on that line and a 1 on that line. And that means the 1 in column 9 is up here somewhere. Don't think that's going to get me very far, but it is going to keep 1 off this line. which means this line is selecting one pair from 2, 3, one from 4, 5, one from 6, 7, and one from 8, 9. And I mean, it's worth keeping these things in mind because they might matter at some point. Now, there's a 2 in one of those cells. What does that do for me? I do not know. I think there's a lot of work to do in this puzzle still. Despite a lot of work having been done. Okay, come on, let's be a bit more rigorous. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 8 are definitely on this line. And this is now only using digits from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because 12 is the maximum. So 7 in the box is suddenly placed. Then there's a 7 in one of those cells. And a 7 in one of those. That's a weird bit of placing, but those 2 being 7s gets that done. Now, what else is going on? If 8 and 9 are in this group of cells, they can't both be on the nabna, so one of them is there. And this is going to use a digit from 6, 5, one from 4, 3, and one from 2, 1. That is not necessarily... Oh no, that is true. I mean, the line is 4 cells long. Yeah, okay, that is true for this bit of the line. I think everything we've done is not invalidated because of that chimney poking out. In fact, what I think happens is that because... Oh no, this cannot have a digit from 1 and 2 on it because they're here. Ah, I think this has to be 953. No, it could be 853. So we can't use 1, 2. We can use 1 of 8, 9. And then we have to select 2 from 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, bother. No, I'm still a bit in the dark. We're using 1 digit from 5, 6, 1 from 3, 4, and 1 from 8, 9 here. And since this can't be 7, this is selected from 1, 2, and it can't be 1. That must be a 2. Is that conclusion right? I think it is. I'm just going to run through it again. 1 and 2 are on this line. So this 3-cell bit of nabna, which can't contain both 8 and 9, has one of them, doesn't have 7. It must have 1 from 3, 4, and 1 from 5, 6. And once all of that has happened, this can't have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 or 9 on it, and it can't have 7 on it, and it can't have 1 on it. It does have 2 on it. Wow, that is a hard conclusion for me. Some of you will find that very easy to see. Some of you will never see it, and I'm somewhere in between. Right, we've got 2 here now. That doesn't prove anything about this wretched line. It could still have 4 and 6 on. But surely the fact that these have to be separate. Yeah, now this can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6 would both be here. So the line doesn't add up to 10. So this line doesn't add up to 10. Can it be 11? That would be 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, that's fine. This would be 4, 6, and either 8 or 9. And the nabna's not broken then. That's a pity. I'm sure it can be 12. Either 1, 2, 4, 5 there leaves... Oh no, we can't have 3 on this line. So 3's gone over onto this line. And now 4 can't be on this line because that would leave 5 and 6 on here. So 4 is on this line, definitely. Now 5 can't be on this line and must be on this one. It's so weird. This is probably absolutely instinctual to some people. But now that does add up to 11. Unfortunately, that doesn't tell me whether this is a 3, 6 or a 4, 5 pair. But it does tell me that adds up to 11. It must tell me what's on here. No, it tells me that 4 and 6 are on here, but not whether the other digit is an 8 or a 9. Okay, but still, let's just keep trogging. There's a 2 in one of those cells. 7, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. These are from 1, 3, 5. There's a 2 there. What's going on in this row? Nothing that I can use yet. 2s. 2s keep threatening to be really helpful. I suppose there's no 2 on that bit of this line. It doesn't sound like it does a lot. Oh, where's 9 in this box? It's not on that line. Nor's 1 or 2. That's interesting. That reduces us to 3 pairs. We're selecting from 3, 4, 1 from 5, 6, and 1 from 7, 8. Which I wasn't really expecting. So 9 might be here, but otherwise it's on this line, which is getting quite big. Either 9 or 8. What are we selecting from here? 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Oh, okay, 8 is possible. These are definitely picked from a population of 4, 6, 8, 9. There's some chance that if I keep pencil marking, something will pop out at me. Like that 3 is in that group of cells. It's rather unexpected. Now, has this got more obvious than I'm understanding? It might have done. If that was a 5, you've got a 1, 3 pair here. These would be from 4, 6, 8. Now, yes, if that's a 6, this bit of line adds up to 11 to match that. If this was 6, 2, 3, 4 and 5 would both be illegally on that line. So this is 4, 2, 5. Yeah, that was doable. I may even have said something earlier that indicated I would understand that when we got to that bit, and then I missed it. Right, 4 there makes this an 8, 4 pair. That is now 1 or 3. In fact, we know everything that's on this line. It is a 1, there's no 5 on it. That's a 1, 3 pair. This is a 6, 8 pair. That's not a 5. The 5 is there in box 8. That's now a 1, 2, 3, 5 quad, and these are selected from 4, 6, 7, 8. If 7 was in one of these 2 cells, it would have to be with 4. And what would that be? That would be... We're picking 1 from 3, 4. That would be impossible. I don't think this can't be 9. Look at this. That's beautiful. If 7 was on this yellow line, it couldn't be with 6 or 8. It would have to be with 4. And there'd be no digit you could put here. You can't have 7 or 4 or anything consecutive with it. You can't have 1, 3 or 2 there or 9. No other digit is possible. So 7 is not on this line. Extraordinary. 7 is up here on the blue line. And that fixes 4, 7 over there. Now, those are much freer because they're even. But what's this? You see, there are numbers that can't go here. It sees 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 7, and 9 by Sudoku. So this is 5, 6, or 8. But you can't use 5 because one of those is going to be 4 or 6. So this has become a 4, 6, 8 triple by force, basically. This is a 5, that's Sudoku. And this group of cells is now 1, 3, 9. That one can't be 9. Now, what's this going to add up to now? If we use the 9... Oh no, if we didn't use the 9, that might be the way round to look at it. It would be 7, 5, 3, 1, which you and I know adds up to 16. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And the only digit you'd have available here is a 9. That's not enough to fill a 2-cell line, even a useless 2-cell Nabna. So that is a 9. And this isn't. And now this line adds up to something a bit more useful, which is 22 or 24. So in fact, this Nabna line uses digits from 1, 2, 3, 6. So does this cell. But on the Nabna, if there was a 2 on it, there would also be a 6. If, I don't know what else, if. But 21, 22 or 24. So these other cells in the box add up to 23 or 21. Feels a bit restrictive, but oh look, there's a 136 triple in row 3. 136, 2, 5. So these are from 4, 8, 4, 7, 8, 9. That one can't be 4 or 8 by Sudoku. That one can't be 7 or 9. There is a 7 in one of those and a 7 in one of those. That's an X-wing. There's another 4, 6, 8 triple. That doesn't do anything. 6, 8, 6, 8 pair makes this a 9. That's good. Now this can't have 9 or 8 on. It is a 6, 4 pair. That's an 8. That doesn't look across and do anything. The 9 does though. Now 8 is in one of those two cells in the central row. 9 is in one of those two along with 7. And one of those is 7 or 9, so that can't be 8 on the Nabna. That's lovely again. So that's an 8. That's now a 4. That's an 8. Got a 7, 9 pair here and one here. It's not a deadly pattern because of the Nabna, I presume. That might actually allow me to work out this is definitely a 9 by uniqueness. But I'm not using uniqueness. Not today, gentlemen. So we've got 7, 7, 7, 9, 7, 9. Now, this line, right. We worked out that these 4 digits were either going to add up to 23 or 21. And those two are adding up to 16. So these add up to 5 or 7. Well, the only way they could add up to 5 out of those digits is 2, 3, and that would break Nabna rules. So they add up to 7. That's a 1, 6 pair. That's glorious. So this line now adds up to whatever 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 adds up to, which is 22. This bit of the line must add up to 22 as well. That's a 1, that's a 3, that's not 3, that's not 1, that's not 1 or 6. In fact, there's a 1, 6 pair, so that's 2 or 3. Come on, this is going well. 6 and 4 are resolved by Sudoku. That does 8 and 6 down here. They're not done. That's not a 5 though. These include 2 and 5. We're not finished, but we're getting closer. There's a 4 here. All sorts of 1, 3 pairs at the bottom. 6 is an X-wing between those areas. So the 6 in column 6 is in one of these places. And that's an X-wing with a 6 there. That uses up the 6s for rows 4 and 5, and that's not a 6. I wish that helped more. Now, 7 and 9, 7 or 9 is on this. The other digits are 1 from 6, 5, 1 from, oh look, there's a 4, 6 pair here. Again, it looks like a deadly pattern, and it just isn't for some reason. Oh, there's a 1, 3 pair, even better in this column, looking up at the top. That's a 2, that's an 8. This is a 3, 5 pair. Unwinding pairs in this puzzle is extremely unusually difficult. 8, 4, 6, 7, 9. Everything else is from 1, 2, 3, 5. So that's a 1, 3, 5 triple in the row. And that helps finish bits of row 6. Oh, the 4, 6 pair would have done that here as well. Anyway, these are from 1, 2, 3, 5 by Sudoku. Never afraid to over pencil mark. Now, what's going on this last Nabna? I'm giving it the name of the last Nabna. If that was a 7, that would be a 4, and you couldn't finish it off without having touching digits. So that's a 9. That does one of our X-wings. Now, if that was a 4, you still couldn't finish this off. If you avoided 5 and 3, you'd have 2 and 1. So that's a 6, and that does the other X-wing deadly pattern. Now, you can't have 5 on it anymore. You must have 1 and 3 to make it work. Isn't that glorious? Glorious stuff. So 5, 3 there. That's a 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 5. This is going to sort out all our 1, 3 pairs. Not quite sure how the 2, 6 pairs unwind yet. Oh, give me one moment before I finish off. There we go. A book my wife ordered 4 months ago turns up just at this moment. Right, and we've got 1, 6. Now this 3, we get a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, proving its position. 2, 5, 2, 6, 1, 6. What a glorious, glorious electrostatic discharge that was. And well done to those people who've solved this before. It's a very clever puzzle indeed. It makes me feel a bit porridgey, to be fair. I just never think I quite get to grips with Nabners. You bounce back and forth between that line and that line, for instance, and I do it very slowly, boing, 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 not like an electrostatic discharge at all. Anyway, delighted to have finished the puzzle, and as always, delighted to bring you something this excellent. It's a daily privilege that we get, that we're allowed to share with you puzzles of this level of genius in composition. And I hope you enjoyed that one. We'll be back with more tomorrow. Thank you for watching as always, and bye for now.